even I used to be with Clutch Sports, bro. You follow me? That's a pretty decent agent. I think there's this guy LeBron in it. You follow what I'm saying?
I think I've heard of him before.
Brother, these dudes got me like 20,000 in Hungary at a time where I didn't think there was 20,000 a month in Hungary, me personally.
Mm-hmm.
And the agent literally called me. He said, I got you 20,000 in Hungary.
Mm-hmm.
Sign it, Kelsey. I think that's the best we're going to get this summer. And I'm not, first of all, I'm not trying to play in Hungary. That's like the first thing.
How is it in Hungary?
I didn't go.
You didn't go?
No.
Why didn't you take it?
Bro, I read the contract.
What was the contract?
And the dude listen what I'm saying. The main point is the agent at Clutch Sports told me not to read the contract. Bro.
Whoa.
Like,
what are you thinking? Yeah. What are you thinking? Yeah. If you wanna know my thoughts, open your ears when I talk. Yeah. What are you thinking? Hey. What are you thinking? Hey. If you wanna know my thoughts, open your ears when I talk. Yeah.
Welcome back to another edition of the Arnold's Thoughts Podcast. I got my boy with me here,
thanks,
Kelsey
bro.
Barlow, man. What's up, bro?
Not much, man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
I was actually waiting to have an interview with you, man. You give good insight.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, we have all these talks all the time. You got a different perspective to the game that I didn't really hear about, so...
A different perspective?
A very different perspective.
Oh, wow.
A very, very different perspective. Even though you do come off mad, what's the word?
I think use the word sarcastic.
Sarcastic. But there's a lot of truth in what you say. So, I appreciate that a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, when you first got here, everybody had like this bad rap on you.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why. Yeah. I'm a very open perspective kind of guy. Just go with the flow, see what's going on. I'd rather meet a person and understand where they come from before I just openly judge them. This episode of Arnold's Thoughts Podcast was brought to you by Bold Claims Apparel. Bold Claims. It's not just a statement, it's a lifestyle. Make sure you check the link in the bio and shop all of our latest apparel today. Back to the episode.
Yeah.
And I feel like you've been getting a lot of judgments. First of all, go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself and, where you're from.
My name's Kelsey Barlow. People call me W or Stambi. We'll go with the W. Born in Greece, Panorama, in the mountains. Moved to Italy when I was about 3. Started going to school in the States around 10, 11. Mm-hmm. Went to high school in Indiana, went to college in Indiana, played overseas, played in the G League. And I'm here, man.
We're here.
Yeah, I'm here.
But for not much longer.
Well, you never know what's going to happen. You just got to be in the moment and see what happens.
All right, for context, I don't even know if you're going to stay here, if you're leaving. I don't even know what the situation is. You're supposed to be leaving, or are you leaving, or we don't know?
I can only go off of what's been communicated.
What's being communicated?
Not the truth. So, I mean, that's...
Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Because from what I've understood, and I this is the rap that I get that it really kind of annoys me. Kind of like when you first got here, before you first got here, there was just spinning this wheel of, he's this type of guy, this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
But, like, in all honesty, the minute that you find out that he's leaving, you're already asking me, hit me up about other players. You're cutting little jokes the minute you walk out the door. So it's like, I don't really appreciate that because I'm not that guy. You're not going to openly tell jokes or spin a certain narrative at the expense of someone because you think it's funny. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
All right, so, like... he was saying, like, okay, when you left,
who's he?
Seba.
Oh, okay.
So when you left, right, he was like calling out the teams, and he was like, Stambi. He was saying like Esse, Gonze, Stambi, but he was kind of being a little condescending, like, oh, my fault, I forgot he's not here.
Shit, I don't know if he...
You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I mean, we've looked each other in the eyes. I mean,
what was the conversation between you guys? Like, how'd that go? Because he came to ask me. He was like, Stanley leaving or he not? And I was like, ask him. Like, I'm not going to sit here and speak on another person's what they do. I don't know.
No, I think it's just like I don't have an agent. You follow me? So like, everyone has to speak to me.
Right.
But there's a time and a place for it, and I think there's a procedure around it too. So if, like, for example, if I'm talking to one of the people in the management, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, hey, like, this is the opportunity. I think I'll take it. And then the conversation turns into like, what could we do for you to stay?
Right.
What, like, bringing third parties in to try to convince me to stay. Mm-hmm. Right. And then you get a message from the coach saying, like, are you leaving? So it's like,
when did he write you? When did he message you?
Like last night. So it's like, bro, like, so I'm like, okay, like, and you saw him when he came in the gym today, the guy from the management. And it's like, oh, we don't know what's going on. Okay, maybe let's just say you don't know what's going on.
Right.
But you're telling other people
what's going on.
That there's been a decision made, but you're conversing with me as if there hasn't been a decision made. That's all. I was just like, all right, bro. Like, so I just had told Sel, I'm like, bro, I haven't signed any document or anything saying I'm leaving or off the team, or no one's really kind of said that. So until something like that happens, you feel me? I guess it's supposed to happen today. I don't know. I'm on the team, so I'm practicing. That's it. Like, all this other stuff, I don't know what they want me to say.
Right. And I feel like,
I don't know.
It's so murky.
For who? I don't see anything wrong. Like, for me, like, but it's just the business of it's the contract. It's just the contract, bro. And it's like, I've known these guys since 2019.
Right.
And think about if you just go through it, right? 2019, you didn't uphold your end of the contract. I did my part based on the contract. I didn't practice. You come in saying blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, bro, like, I don't know why you're talking like that, and the paper says this.
Correct.
You're trying to convince me on something that the paper does not say. Like, what do you want me to...
What was he trying to convince you on?
He was saying, because the reason I said I practiced, they had to pay my agent fee. Mm-hmm. So my agents were like, yo, like, don't practice. In my head, I'm like, shit, like...
They didn't have to pay the agent fee?
No, they hadn't paid it up to that point.
They hadn't paid the agent fee.
Yeah, so in my head, I'm like, man, really, we done lost, like, the last 2-3 games. Like, I don't think these dudes care, so...
But that's one of the part of the game that I just don't understand. Like, what makes you feel like just because we're not winning that you don't get to uphold your end of the contract? Like, what's the whole point of a contract if at any point you feel like I'm not gonna uphold it? What are we doing here? This is the Wild Wild West then.
I mean, you can call it what you want, but I think it's just a lot of the personalities of the players in the game. Like, there's a lot of desperate players. There's a lot of, people who are like giving it up to the team, so they just think they can probably get over on a lot of players. So
they want to try it.
And then, I mean, bro, like, trust me, like, even I used to be with Clutch Sports, bro. You follow me? That's a pretty decent agent. I think there's this guy LeBron in it. You follow what I'm saying?
I think I've heard of him before.
Bro, these dudes got me like 20,000 in Hungary at a time where I didn't think there was 20,000 a month in Hungary, me personally. Mm-hmm. And the agent literally called me. He said, I got you 20,000 in Hungary. Mm-hmm. Sign it, Kelsey. I think that's the best we're going to get this summer. And I'm not trying to play in Hungary. That's like the first thing.
How is it in Hungary?
I didn't go.
You didn't go?
No.
Why didn't you take it?
Bro, I read the contract.
What was the contract?
And the dude listen what I'm saying. The main point is the agent at Clutch Sports told me not to read the contract. Bro.
Whoa.
Like, I don't even know why he said it. So I read it, and it was like, if you're out past 12, automatically minus 25%.
Minus 25%?
I was like, hell yeah, that sounds about right. Sound like these dudes don't have 20K. Right? If you think about it, because here's math. if it's a contract, right, it doesn't say, hey, out past 12 partying. It doesn't say out past 12 doing etc., right? It says out past 12. And on every single team I've played on as an amateur, as a professional, at one point or another, I've traveled with a team and we've returned back to our place past 12.
Yes.
So I was like, hell nah. And then it was like minus 50 euros if you don't give high fives.
What?
I swear to God. And
What
so
kind
I'm
of
like,
contract is this?
Exactly. So I'm like, bruh, I'm a high fiver for the most part. You feel what I'm saying? And you know when dudes give you that numb hand, like that faulty hand,
yeah.
You're like, bro, all right, I'm not about to keep high five. You keep giving me the dead hand. You know what I mean? Or they might not give it back to you. So I'm like, what counts in that? But by the law of the contract, if I don't give one, it's minus 50.
I never in my life.
But hear what I'm saying. I didn't think there was 20 a month in Hungary at the time.
Okay, so they basically wanted you, and they were just gonna say that, but then try to put in all these extra stipulations.
Seems like you're gonna get fined.
Yes,
to me,
intentionally, or looking to find you just for a reason to say,
right?
Well, you didn't do this, and well, the contract says you're not supposed to be out past 12, so that's $5,000 right there. But the team flew in at this time. Like, that doesn't even make sense.
But my point is, so a team, like my other friend, he was in Clutch Sports at the time. And I'm like, I used to be asking, like, yo, what you think of this dude, bro? Like, what is the deal with this agent, like, who we were working with in the thing? And we agreed on a couple things. And I'm like, you be reading the contract? He's like, nah, bro, I only read the compensation part. So a lot of people, when it comes to these contracts,
don't read it.
Only read the compensation part,
getting paid.
The numbers. So when you go to deliberate, when you have an issue or when you have a thing with a team, teams know like the law of averages, bro. On average, they're going through years and years of players. You feel what I'm saying? Where a player may just come through for a year, short career. Teams last longer than players. Agents last longer than players.
Correct.
So by mathematics, you know half these dudes, even if they maybe read it, they're not even sharp enough to comprehend it. Like, you know what I mean? I write books, bro.
Right.
8 pages, 5 pages, or 10 pages, where the contract's going to be is not really too much time for me to read, bro. Right. You know what I mean? But like when I was in school, 6 pages, I might be like,
I feel like that is a good trade. What's one of your books so they can check it out? I know you got your website, Stanby. Is it Stanby?
No books available to the public right now.
Dang, what happened?
Nah, there's none available to the public right now. I had like a party and I made a children's book, and that was like the invitation to the party. Like, if you got a children's book, but it was like, you know, I had like another book where I gave it to 5 select people. Sometimes I'll do like little quick books online and just kind of distribute them really quick, but none available to the public right now.
Wow, why are you holding the good information from the public?
I think it all comes down to like how you're trying to like throw a party when it comes to like a distribution.
What do you mean by throw a party?
I think like when it comes to things, right? Like anything that's like created, right? There's got to be some sort of feeling associated with it to like, you know, go a certain distance. So I think like, for example, if you look at Facebook, right? The main thing about Facebook, I had it when I was in high school, and it was only high school and college. But the exclusivity of it, of like no parents being on there, made it dope. Yeah. Right? So as a kid, you had like, that's like a party. You know what I mean? It's like no adults at this party. No adults. And another party is like, hey, like anyone can see who writes on my wall. You follow what I'm saying? Right. And it's like, if a hot girl writes on your wall, you're bragging to your friends. Or you see like who's in a relationship. So there's a lot of like sexual things, I would say, that influence a good party. I wouldn't say monetary things all the time, but it could be like something that makes you feel luxurious. Is like a way to throw a party. So what's the word? Exclusivity? Exclusivity as well. So like if I just put out a book me. You know what I mean? Not many people know me at this point. It's not that no one knows me, but I would like to distribute it under some emotion. Like, for example, hey, you got this first book, and it's an invitation to a party. That was what the book was. The book wasn't about the party, but it was a kid's book. But I used it as an invitation.
And how many people got that book?
50.
50 people got that book.
Yeah.
So that means they are qualified to get the next book.
I wouldn't say so at all.
So, so they might not be invited to the party. So who's able to get the next book?
I haven't. I'm right here, like, dealing with these dudes. I haven't even gotten that far.
Yeah, back to these.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
So we're on the team, bar. I'm not even gonna lie. It's kind of like, remember I was like last night, I was like, it's kind of murky because you told them that you're out.
Yeah.
Waiting for, you got to sign the clearance. Oh, before I get into that.
Are we live right now?
No, we're not live.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
It's recording. But read your contracts. You see what he said? Read the contract. And it's like one of the most... I was talking to one of my homeboys, and it was like, you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. Because we don't read.
Sure.
We don't read. And that's exactly what most players do. They go straight down to see how much I'm getting paid, see what the bonus is, and then you might have some kind of crazy stipulation in there where there's like, if you just stay out past 12, you lose 25% of your money, which is crazy in all the sense, but
I wrote this entire contract.
You wrote this contract.
Yeah, dude.
But I'm just talking about the hungry one,
sure. Yeah,
in that
situation.
Was
presented to me.
Yeah, in that situation.
Yeah.
And it's like 4 athletes and 4 players. Even if your agent from Clutch Sports sent you this contract?
Yeah, dude.
That just lets you know the hierarchy of it all. And still, as Clutch Sports, that's like LeBron's agency, isn't it? With LeBron,
I think it's Rich Paul's.
Rich Paul with LeBron.
I think LeBron's the marquee player in Clutch Sports.
And you got agents that represent you out there telling you not to read your contract and has certain stuff like that in it. That makes this just lets you know it doesn't really matter. You got to do your own research and take care of yourself and do your own due diligence. This is your career. This is your bread. This is what really matters. So, anyways, back to these guys. You've been with them since 2019.
On and off.
On and off.
Sure.
And it seems, you know what? Chitty asked me, he was like, hey, come here. What do you think about the situation? And I was like, that's one thing I didn't want to get into. Because I'm like, oh my goodness. I know everybody, now everybody's got eyes on me. They're all looking at me like, what do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? What's going on?
Sure.
You know?
No, I don't.
And they all have eyes that like they want a response from me, like on a situation. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, it's not my life. It's not my contract that was being broken. And we had like a minute or two to talk. And I'm like, what do you expect someone to do if they're breaking contract? If it was the opposite way around, and let's say he didn't come to practice for a week, right?
Yeah.
What do you think will happen in that situation? They would get rid of him.
Right.
So,
maybe. No, I don't know. Yeah, you're probably right.
The average player.
No, you're right. I agree.
They'll probably get rid of you and they'll try to tell you, hey, you know what? You're breaking contract and all. You're breaking contract.
Yeah.
But why is it okay for them to break contract? You know what I mean? Why? I think
it's a team, right? Mm-hmm. That represents this city. And most importantly, it represents this province.
Right.
So, obviously, majority of the teams, first or second division, however you want to look at it, are in Buenos Aires, Cordoba, Santa Fe, Rosario, this type of stuff.
Okay.
Right? Just by mathematics. So, like right now, in first division, there's no teams from this province.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean by that?
I kind of do, because we're like literally at the bottom of the
So if you look at it even just from like a March Madness standpoint, mm-hmm. right? there's always going to be a Big Ten team in the March
Yeah,
Madness.
okay.
There's always going to be this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Always going to be an SEC, always going to be an ACC team.
But when a little Cinderella gets in, or like, you know, this type of, like, you know, a team from the Cinderella, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. And they really, like, you know, they represent something beyond just that year. It's like for the generation or for all the generations for the most part.
Correct.
So this team represents a place where most Argentinians don't even consider Argentina. Did you know that?
Crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah, like, so it's like I remember the first time I came here, like my teammates were from the north, and like Buenos Aires, like half the team was from Buenos Aires, half the team was from Cordoba. So the two biggest cities.
Okay.
And they're like, yo, Kel, don't judge Argentina off this. This isn't like you know, like how you would say if someone said they were from, I don't know, bro, like in the States, somewhere in the boonies, like Alaska, you would be like, that's not really the States.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
To be honest with you, if you went to that's Alaska. Like, that's not even.
And that's basically what this is. We like by Antarctica, Rio Grande. We're literally at the very, very bottom of Argentina. Like bottom.
Yeah. But so the point is, right, like it's like we're the owner or whoever that guy was today, whatever his role title is, I don't know.
Sebi?
Whatever his title is, whatever his name is, you get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say it, but like he's just not being honest. That's all he's not doing. So like it's not like he's like, oh, the people of the town love you and like everyone like has this feeling and you're taking this feeling from people.
He said you're taking his feeling from people.
Whatever he said, he's adding
trying to play on the emotion.
He's adding some emotion. But I'm saying like this, bro. I hit like 3 game winners on this team, right? In like a week or something like that. Something crazy. And then no one really feel out the game, you know. But then I donated basketballs to a school. Mm-hmm. And then I made national news in this country. And then 500 women's moms and everyone was saying like, oh, you're a genius. Like, thank you. Like, no one donates shit around here. Uh-huh. Right? And then I film a movie in this town. Right? Uh-huh. So if you want to get your business straight, like, nothing you're providing me, nothing this team is, like, providing me other than a stage is, like, and me wearing your jersey. It's not like you're saying, hey, Kelsey, do this or anything. I'm just doing that on my own. And then they have the nerve to say, like, oh, you're only thinking of yourself. So it's like you're just talking at this point. You're not really bringing any facts to the table. Mm-hmm. Like, so it's like, why do people like Kelsey in this town? I am the only person that did something of high-level community service in their eyes. Like, that's it, bro.
That's the reason why.
That's it. It's not like, oh, because I was just playing so goddamn good. I'm telling you, it wasn't. If it was that, it would be that. But it's not, bro. I just so happen to be decent at basketball as well. Uh-huh. But it's like what I did off the court in the community, bro. Like, how it made people feel. Like, I remember one day, it was me and, like, 3 dudes on the junior team one day, bro. I wasn't thinking like this. Well, I gave all 3 of them $100, bro. Uh-huh. You feel me?
That's right around town.
Bruh, you should have seen their faces. I forgot the difference in the prices here. Uh-huh. You feel me? So all 3 of these dudes got a Benjamin Franklin, like it's just a feeling, bruh. I try to make it fun for everybody, bruh.
Correct.
Like, at the end of the day, I'm a pretty positive person.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's it. Like, you can say all this other stuff about how I play, but that has nothing to do with why people, like, you see how when we walk into the gym, I'm pretty positive to all the workers every day. Yeah. I could keep my mouth closed. But, hey, how you doing? Like, I just speak to people. It's not like...
Mejor dia de su vida.
Yeah, bro.
I gotta steal that.
You gotta roll with it, bro.
I have to steal that because they always... Yeah, it is.
Why not? That'll be your best day of your life, bro. Like, what are we talking about? It's not about to be my bad day. Like, you follow what I'm saying? So it's that. And then the owner's like, well, or whoever the dude's name is, like, he's just kind of saying stuff. And I'm just like,
so
all right, man.
They had like a little meeting after you talked. And he was just like, yeah, I understand, you know, it's the business of things. It happens, but, you know, I don't think it's correct. And it's like, I could see him at the corner of my eye, like every other word looking at me for like some kind of like confirmation, but I'm like deadlocked. I literally deadlocked like this. I'm standing like this the whole time. And I'm just like looking at the basket. Like the whole time. I'm up and I'm just here. And I can see him in the corner of my eye just keep looking like he say 2 words and he look at me. Say 2 words, he look at me. And I'm like, I don't understand you looking at me like that's y'all business. That's the business
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, bruh, like if like the business, like in anything, like I didn't sign. Here's what's fucking funny, like, so everyone can say whatever they want to say about me. I don't care, bro.
Right.
Like what could I have done more, really, bro?
Trust me,
I couldn't have really done.
I've seen it.
I was here, I couldn't have really done too much more, bro. Like I really couldn't have. Unfortunately, I couldn't have. Right. Mm-hmm. And then the second thing is like you're bringing the coach into it. You're bringing all these people into it. And you didn't even bring them into it like that when bringing me.
Right.
So, like, you know what I mean? There could have been a way easier way. That's why I'm just like, even when I was talking to him, like, about what was broken in the contract, I'm not even saying, like, oh my God, the contract was broken, F you. I'm not. I'm just like, bruh, think about the stuff you guys broke in the contract.
What was his response to him breaking the contract?
He was like, he was trying to, like, twist it. And I'm like, bro, like, you guys flew me out here for 1 game this month, right? I put certain things in position. I wrote the contract. I know. Like, I know. Like, you guys on average pay people once a month. I'm making you pay me 4 times in 1 month, bro.
Because I know how y'all operate.
You want to hold me to this responsibility of, hey, Kel, take us to the first division? I'm going to hold you to the equal responsibility, bro, if you allow me to write the contract. We're going to make it so the time is of that for me to do that, right? So if it's like, all right, Kel, go down here, right? During the Christmas break, I have a family, bro. Uh-huh. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, I need to see my family every day. But, like, I know people, right, who'd like to see me just as much as this team. Or that they liked to see me just as much as this team.
Past tense.
You can call it what you want, right? But they try to, like, do that for their side.
Of course.
But won't do it for my side. So I'm like, dude, like, I know who you are, bro. Like, you try to threaten me before, and then I deliver the balls. Then you couldn't bro, he was like, I'm going to, like, give you a bad reputation.
He said that?
This was a few years ago. And I'm like, okay, bet. And so then we got to hooping. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not losing, bro. I'm not losing, bro. You got me. I'm not losing, bro. And then it was just, I didn't even force it, bro. I was just like, I'm literally on my rooftop, like, looking down at the school, like, what game are they playing, bro, on this basketball court, bro? Couldn't tell. Didn't know. It looked like they were just running around. So I'm like, if they on a basketball court, it looked like they must not have any balls. So I'm like, it would be real cool if I like was like a mascot and just launched them up, you know, like got everyone, you know, like if a mascot does it, people jump up and get hyped. So I try to like, you know, I had a bunch of balls and I try to like go into this gate and just start launching them at these kids during the recess. And I like go to the gate and the security was like, oh, and I was like, oh shit, I'm an adult, like. What
are you doing at this school?
You know, so then I had to. So I was like, damn.
I didn't think about it that
way. So I'm like, damn. So I go like do the regular like check-in procedure, and the guy he was the guy at the dinner. I don't know if you saw him like 2 nights ago when Seppi was at the dinner, and I said bye to the guy kind of next to the table.
I didn't think so.
The game, like 2 days before, maybe the day before, actually, I had just hit a game winner. You follow what I'm saying? But during the game, right, there's this guy, like, waving. And I was like, I waved back. I thought he was waving at me, but he was really waving at the dude.
In the game?
No, this is, like, you know, like, you're just like, bro, imagine, like, a guy's, like, right here waving at you. And you're like, I assume, I don't know, my ego must be high or something in that moment, but I'm like, so I start waving back at him, and then I look, and he's waving at the dude behind me, bro, and I was like, and then he tried to like look at me, and I was like, so I was like, this is awkward as hell. So I go to like deliver these balls, like, all right, I'm just gonna drop them off where they do what they're gonna do. I'm not about to just, at this point, I'm overthrowing them. And so I go to deliver the balls, and it's that dude. And
at the school.
And he's like, dude, I was waving at you yesterday. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I was like,
so he was waving.
No, he was like, I was the guy you thought was waving.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, just take the ball. He's like, no, man, you're delivering us the balls. He said, we got to take a picture. So I was like, he's like, put this hat on to the school. They had like a little gift shop or a little school shop at the school. So I put the hat on, took the picture with the balls, and then it made like national news. You follow what I'm saying? So I don't know, Brett. That's and that's all that happened after he said he was going to give me a bad reputation. So imagine like a week before, you're like, Kel, I'm going to ruin your reputation. And then, ironically, national news says, this is the best foreign guy to ever pull up. So you feel what I'm saying? Just from a relationship, when he's talking to me, I'm like, bro, you need thousands of people to convince you who I am. You're not like, you're trying to deal with me like just another statistic. You're not dealing with me as a person, bro. That's all that's happening. It's like you're not dealing with the person. And then you expect me to deal with the person, have all these feelings. No, bro. Like, I'm going to give my best while I'm here. But if you're not doing your part, what do you want me to look in the future and be like, well, the rest of the way, it's just going to be
like this.
It's going to be great. Like, they're going to do everything they say. Like, you're not even like, come on, bro. Like,
that's it. And we said that, we were talking a little bit yesterday, and I was like, it's a toxic relationship. And I feel like that's what a lot of people don't understand coming into the game. It's like, bro, think about the type of mindset you would have to be. The type of person you would have to really be to say, hey, I'm going to give you a bad rep. I'm going to throw your name all in the dirt.
Yeah, he just needs a mirror, and he would know who he was. He's not really talking to me, bruh. I don't really take it like he's talking to me. I'm like, bruh, you got something going on. Like, even, like whoever, like anyone here who has something bad to say about me,
what was it? I want to understand, what was the whole point of him? Like, how did it get to that?
What, the bad reputation?
Yeah, like what?
No, it was simple. Like, we had been losing. It was like this, when you lose on a team, it's just that feeling of just someone might be out of here tomorrow.
Yeah.
You feel me? And so, like, it's
yeah. That's how Buddy was feeling
before I got here.
Yeah.
You know that feeling, right? So
it was like, yep, somebody's about to be going soon.
So that was a feeling. But for me, I'm looking at it, bro, because literally, so we say we went on this little losing streak, right? Mm-hmm. But before, we had beat like San Lorenzo, we had beat Instituto.
Some of the best teams in the league.
Yeah. And so, like, I had told the coach, I'm like, bro, you really just chopped my minutes. So, like,
just because.
I don't know why. We had got this new little dude, and I'm like, bro, I'm playing these minutes, right? And you're just subbing me at the wrong time, bro. They're cooking him. Like, they're cooking him.
Was he a local?
Yeah, I'm like, they're cooking him. So, like, you can keep trying to put the pressure on me, but obviously, when we were doing it this way, it was a drill. So I was like, all right, like, I know these dudes are pressured, but if we keep with the same rhythm, bro.
It just messed the whole rhythm up.
Yeah, because the other American Art team was like, I'm about to leave. So then his minutes, like, so when he was like fake splitting minutes with me, we were losing. But then when he stopped playing because he was about to leave, we were winning. Mm-hmm. And so then they replaced him with this dude. Yeah, it's just math, bro. So I was like, bro, I'm not really tripping. I know what I can do on this team if you sit his ass down, bro. Like, and it wasn't even personal. I was just like, bro, like, so basically what happened, like I told you, they didn't pay my agent. They're just like, yo, sit out of practice. I'm like, did you talk to the team? Like, yeah. So I'm like, all right. So I get to practice, and bro acting like he didn't talk to my agents. So I'm like, bro, they told me they talked to you, and you're trying to talk to me like you didn't talk to him, bro. Or so he's like,
so who's lying?
Yeah, and he trying to call me a liar. I'm like, bro, like, he's like, you need to tell me why you're really not practicing. I'm like, bro, did you talk to my agent? And he's like, Kelsey, either, he said some funny shit. He was like, what did he say? He said, if you're a man, you only lie to the women, not to another man.
Wow.
I'm like,
wow.
So that's what he was saying. And then I was like, bro, I'm just telling you, bro, like, really, if I was like, if you just had paid my agent, that's what the deal would have been. I would have been practicing. I was like, what else is there to do in this city? And so he was
other
like,
than the hoop.
yeah, I'm like, I'm not trying to watch these dudes. So I'm here. So you think I want to watch them? Like, so he was like, nah, and he tried to give me this reference. And then he said something like, what did he say? He was like, what did he say? He tried to just tell me, like, in the contract, it said they pay the agent every month. Okay. But then he tried to tell me about this 30% fee you got to pay tax if you.
Wasn't he saying something about that today?
I don't know. But if you there's a 30% tax you have to pay if you send money outside of Argentina, which is true, right?
Yeah, because they hit me with that. Like, remember I told you, like.
Yeah. So he was like, that's what we've always paid people at the end. We give the cash to the player. When they get to the States, they give the agent the money. I'm like, that may be cool, bro. But in the contract that I have, it says pay the dude every month, bro. Uh-huh. So you're still talking to me about something that has nothing to do with our relationship.
Correct.
You keep trying to bring all this stuff in our relationship. So he was kind of like, Kelsey, we were thinking about extending you, give you double, triple the next year, blah, 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 blah. And now you do this, so, if you don't get it right,
if you don't get it right.
And I was just like, in my head, I'm like, what is this guy talking about? Like, we're not even going on the contract. You're just talking, trying to, like, intimidate me because you think, like, I give a fuck, and I don't. Like, I don't care what, like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, my boss is talking. Okay, that's great. But just talk about what the rules are. Like, bro, what are the rules? You know what I'm saying? Now, if you say something about the rules and I was wrong on the rule, we can have that conversation.
Correct.
But, like, if I'm writing the contract, bro, I know the rules. I wrote that contract, too.
You wrote that contract, too?
Yes, bro.
When did you get into writing your own contracts? I don't think I ever came across a player that has written their own contract or had the notion to say, I'm going to write this instead of putting this inside of an agent's hands. Is it because you've just been around so much people around the business in that aspect that made
that plays a huge part? That plays a huge part. But then it's just like, I don't really care. Like, I'm not really focused on the money, like, so much. Mm-hmm. I don't really care. Like, I've always just try to be, like, as good or as top as I can. Sometimes I lose my discipline, and then that goes out the window, sure. But, like, if I'm, like, focused on it or if I'm about to sign up for something, I say, okay, what in the situation do I need? Because it's not like it's not like me coming here is me going to my dream fucking team.
Right.
So you can pay me like all you want. You feel me? Like the most I ever got paid, I was on a team and I'm like, man, is that it?
No.
Is that Skype?
Yeah. I think that's my daughter calling.
Oh. But
go ahead.
But like.
Matter of fact, hold on. Let me make sure this didn't cancel out the. No, it's still. Actually, you're a little bit out of. Cool.
But if you go like, if you just look at like your experience, right? Mm-hmm. And you say, okay, they're paying me this, right? And they require this from me. But is this situation sustainable for me to double up my money again? Mm-hmm. If the answer is no, the money doesn't really matter. Like, so imagine if you're like, let's imagine you're in the NBA, right?
Right.
That's a lot of money. And you get criticized pretty highly by a lot of people. And everyone expects you to be damn near a superhero, right? And imagine they're like, hey, we're going to pay you, Kobe Bryant, $27 million per season. Mm-hmm. But there's no time for you to get extra shots up. There's no time for you to lift. There's no time for it, right?
Yeah.
Or there's no heat in our gym. Like, it could be anything, bro. You never know the situation. People are just paying people because they know people are taking the dollar.
They're taking the money
now, if you look
the
at
situation.
If you look at the history of the NBA, Mark Cuban is like notoriously known for being like one of the main people at the highest level to say, okay, we're paying these dudes well, but we need a nutritionist. We need food here. That's going to keep them here at the gym longer. Like, if there's no food at the gym, you're a big machine, you're going to go leave to get food. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like all these things help you stay at $100 million value. So for me, I'm like, okay, what do I need in the situation, right? So if I say, hey, I need a flight during the break, I just don't want to hear some negative energy for me not seeing someone and choosing to come down here.
Right.
I don't want to deal with it.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's one thing. Okay, let's do the hotel. It's right by the gym. Vicinity I can work without really having to try. And I don't have to think about a ride. I don't have to think about this stuff. I don't have a car. You're not going to give me a car, so put me close. 3, coming back from these trips, me personally, I don't like coming to these bumfuck apartments at dark. So the hotel's going to be lit up every time. 24/7 service. If something messed up happens, like the energy goes out, whatever the case may be, you got service. You follow what I'm saying? So the mental stuff of being in a foreign country, you got it taken care of because they're just used to dealing with international people all the time.
True.
You follow what I'm saying? So I try to put that stuff in first. And then on top of it, like when it comes to the payment, it's like, okay, there's always these rules like, oh, if we don't pay you in 15, 30 days, but if they pay you once a month, that gives them so much leverage. But if they pay you once a week and you miss, you have more leverage on the days and stuff like that.
Correct.
You feel what I'm saying? 4 times, bruh. Like you want to play, like, you know what I mean? We can play like that.
It keeps them in check because they have so much leverage. Be like, well,
like, because if they go, like, say if they pay you once a month, right, and they pay you at the end of the month, so you start here, like, for example, like the 10th, and they're supposed to pay you like the next month, the 10th, but then they got an extra 30 days, so they can really start you off 2 months late.
Right. Yeah, they do have situations like that, and I feel like that what you said in that aspect of we was talking about, that the outside part of the game, being close to the gym, the amenities, all these things being taken care of instead of having to worry about, man, I got to go to this, I got to pay for my own place, paying for, just all the little extra stuff. That getting taken care of is going to have my mind, okay, I just need to hoop. Hey, there's a lunchroom right here inside of the gym. I'll never leave the gym.
Yeah, like got a TV, they got a couch, they got a lounge, like everything, like, as a player, bro, like, or any job you work, like even at major corporations, they start having cafeterias and all this kind of stuff because, all right, you got to take a lunch break. You got to leave. Now you're dealing with different people who make you inspired by different shit. Now, but if you have the lunchroom in the thing that's provided for free at some of these top corporations, now you're eating lunch. Maybe you're still talking about the business. So it's more beneficial to the company as well. You follow what I'm saying? So that's how I got into the contracts. I'm like, okay, I just played at this price tag and it was the best time of my life. Then I like quadrupled up the next year. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, bruh, the situation just wasn't as available to, I had to do way more to grow, even though I had way more money. And I'm like, bruh, the money really not really. Well, I'm buying $1,000 earrings. Like, what am I? What is it? What am I doing with this money? I got to go to practice twice a day anyway.
Right.
So it's not like I'm like
out here just.
And the most fun thing for me is hooping anyway. It's not like anything I buy is gonna be more fun than hooping, bro. So it's like, okay, if this is not my dream location, I do not give one fuck about the money. But if the money, can balance itself out. And I could use like this plus this. Yeah, it's cool, bro. I'm not tripping.
Yeah, I remember I was talking about when I played for a minor league, and it was low money, but the situation that the coach made for us, we had chiropractors whenever we needed. The gym had heat in it.
Yeah.
We was eating out 4 or 5 places, different places. They was making sure it's taken care of. They're making sure our food is there. They're making sure we go to the dentist. All these other things that just make you feel comfortable as a player makes you want to go do your job even that much more.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not something that's really, especially not here. They're not worried that you better come to practice. You better show up. You better do the job that we're paying you like you're a tool. You know, you're just a tool. Do what I say because I'm giving you this money, and if you don't accept this money and this situation that we're putting on you, like, we're not going to abide by the contract, then you're a bad person.
No one's a bad person. You're I see, you're different with words. Like, for me, I don't give a fuck. Like, bruh, like,
I mean, literally,
if you're calling me a bad person, you're just wondering if I'm challenging what type of person you are. And the reality of it, I'm not really, bruh, my dad's a first round NBA draft pick, bro. Mm-hmm. I've been around every tier of player, bro.
Correct.
Saw Jordan in the tunnel at age 5, bro. You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He wore a suit in the tunnel.
Is that where you get the suit thing from?
No, I get the suit from a dude who owns the team kind of vibe. You follow what I'm saying? But he wore a suit in the tunnel, right? There's lights, camera, action in the tunnel after the game. There's a line of kids trying to get his autograph, and you're wondering, will I get one? Right? So when I come to a situation, hate to be the comparison guy, but I'm not really thinking you're the guy that's going to be on time anyway. Mm-hmm. So, like, you're waiting for me to slip up? My nigga, like, you're on my time, bro, so don't slip up. And you know it. Like, it's not even like, bro, like, literally, like, last year, they're like, hey, we got a deal for you. Sign the contract once we get here. Never responded ever again, bro. And I was like, yeah, I'll come. That sounds like a good deal. We can do this. We can do that. I'll save you guys from going down to second division. I'll do that, bro.
That was right when they were trying to deal with going down.
Yeah, and I was like, it was at the end of the season. I'm like, you niggas aren't even about to make the fucking playoffs. Like, the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But I'll help save you guys.
Right.
Oh, just sign the contract when you get down here. No. Like, it's not even
like, I'm trying to understand.
But I'm just saying, like, if you dealt with a person, bro, like, think what I'm saying, like, how he's talking to me. I'm just like, why do you think I care what you're saying? Like, it's not like I'm being a dickhead. I'm telling you, bro, I'm not going for this, this, and this. And it's not like I'm asking for everything.
I feel like it's what you said earlier too. It's like, not a lot of players put enough value on themselves. So they're used to just telling a player, hey, this, that, and the third, and then they'll go for it. So when you're like, I'm not going for that.
You gotta know there's an outlier in the curve. And so it's like, all I'm saying, even when he's asking the questions, I'm like, bruh, if you knew, like, I asked you before I came, are you gonna take care of the flights? Yes. Right? Did you look up the price to say yes? I'm wondering. And if you couldn't get the flight, bruh, why not, like, try to negotiate something that you could do,
right? So
you don't have to deal with me being like, bruh, you didn't do it. Now we have to think about other shit. That's all it's saying. Like, but like, I have no problem still playing here today. It doesn't, like, nothing anyone said. Right. I don't care. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's like, all right, well, if this comes my way, but I'm telling you, bruh, trust me, life works in one way. If I did stay here, bruh, and I just stayed positive, I'm going to eventually leave, and there's nothing they're going to be able to do about it. It's going to be one of those situations where everyone's going to be like, well, fuck, you're leaving right before the championship? Nigga, everyone would for that situation. That's what's happening. But
that's the road it was headed down.
That's the road if they decide to, like, play around and keep me, bro. I'm not going to be mad. You feel me? I'm not going to care. I'm going to still be pretty positive and still do it. But you have a window right now to get another guy.
Oh, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you fuck around and like, agree, like, basically what I'm saying is you already agreed to let me go. Now, if they didn't let me agree to let me go, it's a different story. I'm just saying this is how the world works. Mm-hmm. You agreed to let me go. Have I received any message? No. They're like, we're going to check in with the ticket people. I went myself to see what the price was of the ticket. Mm-hmm. Went up right after practice. I went over to the place they do their travel agency. So here's my ticket that came here. Here's my name. Here's my passport. What's the price difference between the tickets for the coming days? Let me know the numbers. Got the numbers. What's the price if I bought my own ticket? Got the numbers. You follow what I'm saying? So they're sitting there. Hey, Kelsey, we're going to check with the travel agency. The travel agency closed at 4:30.
6 o'clock.
You didn't do shit. You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. Or you're trying to fucking play games.
You're playing games.
One of the two.
You slick.
But who knows that my black ass took my ass over there and went? Who would have done it? You follow what I'm saying? They don't think I would even look.
They would never even think you were there to go and check and stuff.
Well, exactly. I'm like, bro, like, look on my website, bro, and see what I'm thinking about. I tell you exactly what I'm thinking about, bro. I'm not on that little boy shit, bro. I don't care. Like, so it's not like I'm mad. You get what I'm saying? But I'm just like, I'm going to try every time to dot my I's and cross my T's.
As you should.
That's it.
As you should.
They're like, is this guy the .it guy? Oh, he is? He's an asshole. It's like, okay. All right.
Because that's who you say everybody just, the vast majority of players bending over to and taking whatever's given to them, whatever's handed to them without like, hey, this is not correct. I'm not going for this. But literally, you're the 1 out of 10, because 9 times out of 10, the average player or most players be like, okay.
But what I'm saying even more so is I'm not even mad. But if you're not going to do something, can we communicate well enough to do something like a second option? And it's like, no, ooh, you follow what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm not talking to those emotions. Give me something factual,
That's
bro.
what I said last night. I was like, it's just all emotions. And
like, what is he, like, I'm like, who is he talking to?
He was coming to me and he was just like, you know, I don't understand this guy. I don't understand this guy, why he do this, you know. And I was like, I really wanted to just like say something so bad, but I'm like, ain't got nothing to do with me.
It ain't got nothing to do with
it. Ain't got nothing to do with me, so I ain't got nothing to say about it. But he kept giving me this look for like my reaction, and I'm trying to say like, if you want to be honest, if the shoe was on the other foot, you really wouldn't be.
It's not even like all it is, bro. It's like this is what he's really saying.
It's toxic.
This is what he's really saying.
It's toxic.
He's saying, hey, man, like, and this is what he was telling me, like, everyone told us not to do it, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, man, your Instagram messaged me, and I don't even have an agent. What the fuck you want me to, like, what does that have to do with me?
And then he complained about it.
Like, what the fuck?
I didn't, you know, the only reason I'm talking to him is because I can only talk to him through Instagram. And I'm looking like you made the decision to go that route. Why are you upset about it now and trying to flip the switch? At the end of the day, this is your job.
But think about the math. It's like, bruh, the things you did not abide by were all for one game over a course of 1 month. Mm-hmm. The best situation for you would have been just have them come in January.
Have you come the same time everybody else came in, like, for the break? I really didn't know. And you seen the team that we played. We were going to blow them out.
Am I thinking wrongly here?
I don't.
I'm just saying, like, to improve them. And they're like, oh, like, you just don't want to work. I'm like, bruh.
You don't want to work?
Like, oh, you wanted to go on vacation and not work. I said, bruh, look.
That don't make sense.
I'm like, look, like, I'm trying to help you out. Like, what you don't understand, like, me coming here and you paying me once a week, like, what the fuck do I care? I'll work all day. You follow what I'm saying? What the fuck do I care? And then on top of it, there's only 3, you know, I think it takes a little transition for your brain to go 3 months not being told what to do to coming to being told what to do. You feel what I'm saying? So I only had to deal with being told what to do 3 days. And then we had a game. And then it was like 2 weeks to myself to charge up how I needed to charge up after feeling game speed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to be responsible. Then we played a 1-on-1 to keep game speed alive.
Yeah.
Like, I would say we took advantage of the time.
We took a great advantage of it. I felt like I got a lot better in those 2 weeks, not going home and just grinding and working out. I felt like, and we seen it, like everybody came out, like there's just like a clear-cut improvement in the work we put in the time.
Clear cut. So like, it's like, I'm not saying, oh, I don't want to work. I'm just saying, like, just so you can abide by your part in the contract, you probably should have just brought me in January.
Yeah. So make it easier on yourself.
On yourself. He's like trying to like twist it every time. I'm like, bruh, you don't understand because you want things to go a certain way. And in life, bruh, I'm not saying I'm the best person on the planet, but if you're not willing to make a legit adjustment, and if you're really not willing to look at the data that's gotten you to this point, it's gonna be tough, bro. Mm-hmm. I write every single thing I do down, bro. You can't convince me, bro. I'm sorry. It's tough. It's tough, bro.
Where did you get that from? When you write down like your every...
The Pacers were about to give me about $6 million 1 year. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine? I was like, oh, I'm about to be in that league. About to give me like $6 million, bro. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine? Like 3 years, 6, some crazy shit. Maybe it wasn't $6 million, but they're gonna
cash you out.
I was gonna be on the team. Like, and so I had some pretty reliable sources who were talking to people in the front office. And so I've been working out with them 2 weeks before the training camp. And so they're like, all right, we're gonna do like kind of like a background check. So they like, you know, called a bunch of people on my behalf. You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like some quality people. So the last day of the workout, bro, who walks in? And when we're working out, it's just Paul George's entourage. You know, he's a Max guy. And then, like, he wasn't even playing. He had that broken leg.
Oh, yeah, okay. That was that year.
So it would be him and his entourage. No one else besides Paul George's entourage. And then just all front office. Bird, Pritchard, Vogel, all these people. Outside of that, it was just the players. And then, like, 2-3 players who were free agents. Mm-hmm. You feel me? I'm serving Solomon Hill every time, bro. CJ, I'm serving these guys. And it was just easy math. Like, they have a role based on their price tag. I don't. And they're looking at me as if I do because they have, quote unquote, more money than me. But I'm like, bro, I have way more free of mind than you. Right. And I don't give a fuck. And I'm seeing how much of a coward you are. To like, no one wants to play that way, bro. You can't convince me. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're good, Solomon Hill, but I know you don't want to play that way. Yeah. Come here. And I'm just taking all the options. I know he's like, so basically, if I'm guarding him.
Say more in here so you don't get out of it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm guarding him basically like, anyway, long story short. Last day, the coach of Purdue, he had just kicked me out like 2 years before. Have not spoken to him. Right? Basically, this guy writes every single thing down, right? Mm-hmm. On every single one of his players, positive or negative, right? So he tells me at one point, he's got more things written down about me, positive and negative, more than all of his players combined. People are just telling him shit about me, right? So I will see what the point is in that situation. I am a person by math that is going to make you say something at that time of my life. So, like, if 100 of his players walk down the street, or maybe he only been there for 4 or 5 years at this, 3 years or 4 years or something like this. If 50 of his players walk down the street, basically 49 of them, outside of myself, might not make you feel anything. You see what I'm saying? So he has all this data on my behavior. So he's able to say, like, to show it. And so his word trumps anyone else they reference because he just has the data. He has it written down. So it's not like he's a great guy, you know. I wrote it down for a barbecue. It's like, no, he did this. Numbers. He did this. And I was doing stuff. So I was like, okay, you got me. So I was like, all right, if I ever am close to anything like that, I got me on the situation, 100%. We can put it right down. So, and then on top of that, once you start doing it, you start seeing like how you move. And then like I've been to since I started doing it, I've probably been to like maybe 12 countries or something like that, you know, and I've been in them like, you know, for a little time or whatever. So it's like I see how I move in certain time zones. I see what I eat in certain cultures. I see like what I need, bro, basically. Like not what I want fully, but I see what I need. Like you follow what I mean? So, and then it's like, okay, like if I'm doing this, like if I'm waking up, stretching, lifting, pooping, reading, studying, learning, I'm basically sharp, right? But if I'm not drinking, I'm not smoking, I'm not doing any of this kind of stuff, right? I'm sharp, right? So when I get into a conversation with this guy, bro, like we can talk straight, like, you know, it's not a mad. I don't doubt what's going on. I'm not gonna make a decision to stay or to go if I don't feel in debt to you, bro. I didn't do shit wrong, like nothing wrong, bro. You know, like came to your game in a suit. That's the best I can do, dog. I'm sorry. Like,
I was so like, you know, this guy came in a suit.
Best I can do, dog.
With the Louis.
What else
Dude,
can I do?
I was like, dang, I should have brought my suit.
Yeah, right. Gave all the fans giblets. What more can I do? You know, I try to be positive every time I come in, and it's this negative connotation about me comes to the team. I'm not even playing into it. It's how you doing, man? Everything great, man. Let's, you know, when we lose, I try to run the sprints the hardest.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even in defeat. So it's like, hey, man, I'm sorry. You're not going to convince me I'm a bad guy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No matter what.
It's impossible.
Can't take that away
It's
from
impossible, bro. You can tell 1,000 people. You can tell your God. Like, I wrote it down, bro. Like, what the fuck?
I feel like that's something I'm gonna get from you, and that writing down, because you basically, like you said, you keeping calm. You keeping basically.
That's what a company would do. A company has to write every dollar they receive, every dollar they spend, every person they hire, the time people come in, the time people leave, everyone they did business with. That's how people. But even if you look at some of the best companies in the world, they don't have it. So when consultants go in to like figure out their problem and solve their problems, they're like, damn, where the fuck is y'all data? You feel me? I'm not saying that's the only way you can improve, but when you're dealing with a large quantity of time, like our age, we're 30. It's not like we're little babies. It's not like just diapers, pat them on the back, feed them some formula. It's like we've had enough experiences in enough places that sometimes you forget what really happened.
True.
Like some people are like this. Why are you drinking? Well, that year when I was playing well, I was drinking. But no, you were drinking, lifting, you're around positive energy around these people, and you just only consider the main thing you were doing. Or like, why don't you do this? And it's really a whole bunch of stuff, but you forget about it. Like, so you can go through and say, okay, I was drinking, but your diet was also fantastic. You feel what I'm saying? And people it's hard to remember all the your computer.
It is.
You don't know every website you've been to.
No. Whether it's beneficial or not, would help you or not. That is very true.
It's like, what are you putting actually in your brain? So it's like, okay, ironically, I've been practicing German, so it looks like, you know, a European team is calling. I don't know, bro. It kind of goes hand in hand where I'm putting my brain, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? I haven't got a European offer in 4 years, bro. How the fuck do I get one?
A little bit of law of attraction right there.
Yeah, exactly. And you start realizing, like, I was really negative for myself before I came here. Not because I was like, dude, the person next to me is annoying the fuck out of me, right? The person next to me is annoying the fuck out of me. And it's my boy, so I'm like, but I couldn't shake him. But then I realized, bro, you have to, no matter what is at, like, no matter the responsibility, if you don't bring it, you can't rely on someone else to be positive.
Yeah.
You just can't. Like think about it. Oh, Kelsey, oh, everyone loves you. Oh. Nigga, you switched in 10 seconds. In 10 seconds. Bro, you think I was giving a fuck about people loving me or not, bro? Your bitch ass will switch so quickly. God damn. How quick
they switch up on you?
How quick did he switch up on me, bro?
Yeah.
You know? Like, how quick? How you doing, man? When you walk, how you doing, man?
Just last night.
Yeah. Like, come on, bro.
Hey, guys, doing good? Yeah.
All right. You shit Christmas, bro. You think shit Christmas, think niggas is the food. It's like, come on, bro. You know, it's not even personal. It's just like, bro, what would you expect from a guy?
That's the question.
You would expect him to bend over and take the knee.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, sure, man. I appreciate you
coming on, bro. That's all we got for this episode, man. Till next time.
Absolutely.
Hey, guys, thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe on our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you listen to your podcast. I greatly appreciate it.